Good morning. I'm George Herbig, Chief Forecaster here with Weather Now Kentucky. We do have an update for you regarding the winter storm that's currently impacting many portions of the state at this point, and we'll do so for the entire duration of today, and of course going into tomorrow. So again, you guys know the drill. As you're coming in here, if you would not mind, tap the share button at the bottom portion of your screen. Get this video out onto your news feeds, that way your friends and family can view it. Get up to date on what to expect. There are some changes once more. We'll talk about the current radar that we're seeing. We'll go over the latest data, of course, as well. Brandon, thank you for sharing the broadcast. Again, over on YouTube, good morning to you as well. If you're just now hopping on here, I'm going to give it probably a solid 2 to 3 minutes before we start diving into the information. Since I didn't do a heads up post, I keep forgetting to do them. I don't know what's going on with me here. But once again, we're going to talk about all the stuff that we're seeing right now. Look at some pictures, some videos. Might even show you a little bit about what's happening outside my window here. Let me go ahead and pull up the camera for you. Take it off of here. Just kind of go ahead and look. I mean, it's coming down. It's coming down out there. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about here. Right now, the forecast is pretty much on par. And we'll talk about the little changes that may need to be made here very soon. But of course, before we do that, again, tap the share button at the bottom portion of the screen. You guys, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but you guys really make a difference. You really do. Thank you for all the shares that you've been doing on all the broadcasts we've been doing. And we'll probably give another minute or so before we dive into the information here. Just want to make sure everyone has enough time to get in here that wants to be in here. And we'll dive into everything. Brenda, good morning to you. Katie, good morning to you. Bonnie, hello. Diane, hello. Lindy, Angela, hello. Destiny, Ricky, Tasha, Timmy, Blake, Dylan, Brandon, thank you guys for all the shares on the broadcast. I hope to see those keep going up. Again, we have some changes being made. We need to get the correct information out to folks, so thank you for allowing us to do that through you hitting the share button. Over there on YouTube, good morning to you as well. I mean, it is just spitting snow outside. I mean, dumping snow outside. Dumping snow outside. I haven't seen, quite frankly, I mean, I'm looking outside right now. That's why I'm looking to my right here. I haven't seen in Radcliffe, some places in Kentucky have seen some snows like this, but I haven't seen a snow like this. With this rate, with these big of snowflakes, with how well it's sticking, 2016. I think that's what we're looking at here, as of right now, out my window. So again, if you're just not tuning in here, we have not started anything. Just said you have not missed anything. Welcome in, everybody. Good morning to you. I'm George Herbig, Chief Forecaster here with WNK. We've been forecasting the system for over a week now. We have been monitoring it for over 33 days at this point. And now the storm is here. And all the work that we put into the forecast seems to be coming true so far. There are a couple changes I do want to talk about with you guys this morning. So before we do dive into that information, I'm gonna say it one more time. Please tap the share button. You guys sharing the broadcast, it is so unbelievably helpful. You guys have no idea how many new eyes we reach just because you guys are sharing the broadcast, and we're able to help more people doing that. So thank you guys a lot for all your shares. I appreciate you. It really does work. Thank you guys a lot. Half Pint DM Shaker Victoria over there on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. You can't hear? Test 1 2. Mic's showing up. Can you guys type 1 into the chats if you guys can hear the microphone? If you guys can hear my voice? I only see one comment saying it, so I'm not buying it too much. But just type a 1 into the chat if you guys can hear my voice. Yeah, so I think for someone type or reply to Beth there, maybe tell her to turn the sound on or restart the video, because it looks like everyone else is hearing except for her. Thank you guys a lot for everything. Let's go ahead and start diving into the information. So once again, just to get our intro back in here, get us kind of reset. I'm George Herbig, Chief Forecaster here with WNK. We do have an update for you. We're going to show you some radar, kind of just have fun with some of these images that we're seeing, and then we'll talk about some of the road impacts that we're seeing right now as well. So here's your radar, and it is no matter what you're seeing right now, pretty much in Kentucky. Switch over to the reflectivity. It's pretty tough stuff coming down. I mean, it's pretty heavy stuff coming down. We're talking about 1 to 2 inch per hour snowfall rates if you're seeing snowfall. We're talking about 1 inch per hour rates on sleet if you're seeing sleet. And we're talking about incredible rainfall rates if you're seeing freezing rain. So it is coming down no matter where you are. I'm going to start over here with Western Kentucky. Just kind of go west to east here. What we're noticing at this time, and over the last 4 hours since we've been awake here, I'm going to pull out my drawing tool here. The rain to sleet line is right here. On model data, this rain to sleet line should have been up here by now. So that tells us that the warm air is not coming in as strong. Now, again, that can change later on throughout the day. Some of the sun starts to get going. Whenever everything starts to get going in our atmosphere, that could change. It could catch up. But the warm line, several thousand feet above our heads, is running about 75 to 100 miles behind. And that is absolutely critical. That means, for example, places like Bowling Green, Madisonville, Hopkinsville, Russellville, going into Glasgow, for places like that, they're seeing more sleet right now than model data indicated because they're able to remain colder several thousand feet up above our heads. All right? And that means for places like north of the parkways, so when I say north of the parkways, I mean, here, just a general rough idea, your parkways kind of look like this. So when I say north of the parkways, it's up here. For those people north of the parkways, you're mainly seeing snow, and it is a heavy, heavy snow. I mean, it is a heavy. I'm looking outside once again right now, big flakes coming down. That's probably a solid 1, maybe 1.25 inch per hour rate. I mean, it is a heavy snowfall falling right now. And so now clicking on the radar here in central Kentucky, you can see on this eastern flank here, so places like Flemingsburg, Richmond, Berea, London, you might not be seeing too much right now. Again, your dry slots, just let me see actually. Yeah, you're at about 60 down here in the bottom right corner. Once that number gets to 70, you'll see a big difference. For example, we were here in Hardin County, and by the way, we have dropped to 24 degrees. I will tell you that is about 4 degrees colder than what model data had us at right now. So, for example, in Hardin County, now this is not true for every county, but for Hardin County, we're about 4 degrees colder than what model data indicated to us that it would be at this hour. So, again, that's also helping to make sure that we're staying in the snowfall. The longer we can hold on to the snowfall, the longer we can hold on to the sleet, the less freezing rain we get, which will be an absolute win out of this. If we end up with 12 to 13 inches of snow, we end up with 12 to 13 inches of snow. We can push snow with shovels. We can push snow with plows. We can't push ice. So, again, if we do end up with a massive amount of snowfall, does it look possible? Yes, but it's not highly likely. It would be a win. I'm going to show you the newest data right now as we go into the late morning hour or mid morning hours. You're going into late morning here very soon. Sorry, my brain. I'm on like my 3rd cup of coffee, guys, and I have ADHD. So when I do get coffee going, it's going at about 100 miles an hour up here right now. So I want to zoom this into the local view for you. Just got to show you what's going on model data. This is valid for right now. So we can do a comparison real quickly. This model is telling us that right now the sleet and snow line is somewhere between Bowling Green to, let's say, Henderson, Kentucky to points northeast. All right. That looks pretty accurate. Again, this technically, this red that you're seeing on your screen via weatherwise, it does technically indicate a mix because there is, even if you're seeing pure snow right now, there's probably like 5% sleet involved in there. So it is technically a mix. But we can switch over here to the correlation coefficient 1 second. And I'll show you where that sleet line probably is per this radar. So see where those whites are showing up. So again, if you have weatherwise downloaded, you can follow along here with me and learn along with me here. This white that you're seeing on correlation coefficient, that is mainly a lot of sleet. So we know the sleet to snow line, change it to red or like a different color, green, let's go green, is right there. So if we take that and we compare it to the model that we just saw, Bowling Green to Henderson. So the model's doing really well so far. All right, advancing this forward here, it does have that snow to sleet line starting to approach the western Hardin County areas, southern Breckinridge County areas, southern Davis counties, so on and so forth. And then eventually it'll just kind of scoot northeast throughout the day. What I will do is kind of just go ahead and kick this to noon. This noon, 12 to about 3 p.m. Eastern time, that's going to be a critical time frame. Do we stay mostly snow? Do we stay mostly sleet? Do we convert to freezing rain? Do we convert to a freezing rain and sleet mix? Right? Does the Paducah and Bowling Green areas, are they freezing rain or are they regular rain at this point? So, again, that 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern time frame, that's the kind of unpredictable part. Where we pivot at that point, that will determine which kind of wins out here. We know that for places like north of between the I-64 corridor and Western Kentucky Parkways to the points north there. We know that this is mainly going to be snow until about 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. or 12 p.m. Eastern time, right? It's the beyond that. It's the 12 to 3. Do we transition? Do we stay dominant one way? Do we go back and forth over and over again? All right. That's kind of the up in the air time frame, or up in the air time frame at this point. All right. Let's say this model is accurate, though. Let's keep going through it. It does show the sleet and freezing rain mixing together along the Western Kentucky Parkway to the I-64 corridor, north of Lexington and Louisville. You're talking about just a complete massive snowfall maker up there. That's valid for 4 p.m. Eastern time. This is valid for that was valid for 2. This is valid for 5 p.m. Eastern time. Sorry about that. Still shows sleet and freezing rain kind of mixing together here. Again, the more we can get this sleet to mix in, the less freezing rain we're talking about. And a lot of people know the difference. So sleet is that crystallized ice. It at least has a little bit of traction to offer. When you're talking about freezing rain, it comes down as a raindrop and then freezes immediately upon impact and creates this just thin layer, almost like a skating rink of just smooth ice. That's the part where your tires, quite literally, no matter what vehicle you are driving, has no traction. Doesn't matter if you're driving a little Toyota Corolla. Doesn't matter if you're driving one of those big boy Ford F-250s. Doesn't matter if you're driving a semi. Doesn't matter if you're driving anything. Unless you have snow tracks on, you're not going anywhere with a thin sheet of ice. All right? So, that said, the more sleet, snow we can mix in, the absolute better off we are. Even if our forecast is wrong, I don't care. The more sleet and freezing rain that we can mix in, the better off that we are. Or, I'm sorry, sleet and snow. All right. Advance this forward 7 p.m. Eastern time. Again, just slowly brings that 32-degree line up to the north there. Now resting along the parkways at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So we know that for the next, let's say, what is that? 3 plus, oh my god, my brain. The next 8 to 10 hours, no matter what falls the next 8 to 10 hours, if you are north of the parkways, it should be frozen. So the one thing that we can guarantee to you is that for the next 8 to 10 hours, if you are north of the parkways, again, that's north of that imaginary line I drew. Let me go ahead and draw it again. Make sure you can see it. Okay, yes, you can. All right, again, parkways is kind of here, okay? It's not a perfect line, but it's kind of in this area. If you're in this green circle, okay, for the next 8 to 10 hours, we can almost guarantee to you that no matter what falls, it will be frozen. Whether it's sleet, freezing rain, or snow, that's the part that's kind of up in the air, okay? And every little bit can impact the totals of the other precip types, right? But if you're north of these parkways, that's places like northern Taylor County, Nelson, LaRue, Hardin, Bullitt, Breckenridge, Meade, Daviess, Henderson, Madisonville, Kentucky, Lexington, Nicholasville, Richmond, Berea, Frankfort, Cynthiana, so on and so forth, Louisville, so on and so forth to the north there. Also, I didn't mean to cut it off, but also to include this little spot up here as well. But again, if you're north in that green circle, no matter what falls, it's going to be frozen, okay? Whether it's freezing rain, whether it's ice, whether it's sleet, whether it's snow, kind of up in the air. I do tend to believe that what we see today will be about 60% snow, okay? Then depending upon where you're at, we're talking about the freezing rain still being up in the case. By the way, we still expect freezing rain, so I'm seeing a lot of questions about that. We're still expecting it. It's still right here on the forecast. All right, we have not changed it really at all. The only thing that we did was add in Bowling Green, Hopkinsville, Paducah, Madisonville, Litchfield, and Campbellsville in that 0.1 to 0.25 inch range. All right, the highest sleet or the highest ice zone should still be in this red zone. Talk about places like E-Town, to Lexington, to Moorhead, to Ashland, to Owensboro, places in between Bullitt, Nelson, LaRue, so on and so forth. All right. Again, that has not changed yet. But if we get to that 12 to 3 p.m. time frame and we start seeing more sleet, we start seeing more snow rather than the freezing rain, then of course we'll take down the rainfall or the freezing rain totals, the ice totals, okay? But we're not there yet. We're not there yet. We hope to be able to do that. The reason I'm telling you that is that that's a possible scenario. Does not mean we're there yet, okay? So, that is that. Checking our current temperatures, I want to kind of just show you where we're at currently around the region here. The incredibly hard snowfall rates and precipitation rates have dropped the temperatures actually in places like Hardin County, Hardinsburg and Breckenridge County, Meade County, places like Bullitt County, places like Shelby County, so on and so forth in north here. I mean, temperatures have actually dropped over the last hour and a half or so, which is astounding. That might help to avoid the freezing rain later on. Again, we don't know yet. We have to get to the 12 to 3 p.m. time frame. So for a lot of you that are asking, are we not looking at freezing rain anymore? Are we not looking at ice anymore? We have to wait. We have to wait. When you're dealing with 4 precipitation types, you are not ever going to have a perfect forecast. No matter how hard we try, I don't care if you're Jesus reincarnated as a weatherman. You're not going to have a perfect forecast when you have 4 precipitation types. All right, there are going to be last minute changes. There are going to be several changes throughout the day. The goal is to try to narrow it down as best as we can. So just wanted to make that very, very clear. Any small shift of the low pressure, which by the way, I forgot to mention that our low pressure is situated over here in Oklahoma. At this point, it says 1006 right there, correct? Let's remember that. That says 1006. I know I might not be able to easy see on the phone, but I'm telling you that says 1006. All right. When I go back over here to this model, and I click on the central U.S., and I look at where that low pressure is supposed to be, it is supposed to be at 1004. Okay. So with low pressures, the higher the number is, the weaker the low pressure is. The weaker the low pressure is, the less aggressive the warm air is. That is why we're seeing more sleet, more snow, more frozen precipits, even in places like Bowling Green, even in places like Paducah, even in places like Madisonville, Litchfield right now, and so on and so forth to the north. That is why we're seeing so much extra frozen precip right now, because the low pressure is weaker. It can't kick that warm air up from the Gulf of Mexico. It can only kick the moisture up. All right. Well, so again, we need to see if that trend continues throughout the day. I can tell you throughout the last 4 to 5 hours, it has been trending weaker. That does not mean it's going to do it all day. And again, a weaker low pressure means more wintry precip. All right. Less precip overall, but what actually falls will be more wintry rather than rain or the freezing rain crap. All right. So I want to show you the totals from the model data real quickly. Let's go ahead and show you. This is not our forecast, by the way. You guys should know better by now. This is not our forecast. This is just this one model run. But here, there's no fall totals for this one model run. Does show a swath of 4 to 8 inches in Hardin County. To the north there, northern downtown Louisville going toward the Florence area, Cynthiana area, over toward Maysville, so on and so forth. Does show a swath of 11 to 15 inches. Once again, this is not our forecast. This is the model. So please don't go run to your family or your friends and say, George says Louisville's getting 13 inches of snow. No, this is the model saying it. All right? I just want to make that clear. Again, it also shows a whopping Bowling Green at a whopping 4.4 inches out of nowhere. I do believe that this model does confuse some of the sleet that it's seeing as snow. So therefore, as a result, tries to put some of that sleet into the snowfall map. So I don't look at this in Bowling Green and say, oh my God, we're about to get 4 inches of snow out of nowhere. No, I don't think that's the case. I think you're going to see a lot of sleet and a lot of regular rain, but I don't think it's pure snowfall. Sexton's on YouTube. Thank you for your $5 donation. I appreciate you for your super chat. And once again, though, look, it's trending a little bit south, though. The winter stuff is trending a little bit south. I will tell you the freezing rain is trending down, but it's still impressive. All right. So just because it's trending down a little bit doesn't mean it's away. So you can see this is a brand new run from the model data. Okay. This is the ice map that we made yesterday at 4 p.m. All right. Highest zone being Moorhead, Ashland, Lexington, E-Town, Southern Jefferson County to Owensboro to Henderson. Highest zone on this brand new model run, Lexington, Elizabethtown, Southern Henderson, Southern Jefferson County, going to Northern Paducah, so on and so forth. Basically between the I-64 corridor and north of the parkways. What we've been saying for 6 days now. All right. So the ice threat, the ice threat as of right now is still there. I'm hearing of a tornado storm headed towards Paducah. Can someone confirm that? That's absolutely not going to occur. It is 32 degrees in Paducah. No tornadoes going to occur in that weather. So whoever said that, probably go ahead and best to just go ahead and mute them. I don't think I've ever heard of that. That's crazy. Okay. Anyway, yes, someone just asked, by the way. Yes, thunder snow or thunder sleet or thunder freezing rain is absolutely possible today, by the way. I do want to show you, here are the lightning flash density markers from this model. Basically tells us where thunder is. Wherever we see lightning, thunder accompanies. There you go. It's lighting up Kentucky. Lighting us up, lighting us up, lighting us up pretty much all day. So there's a chance for thunder snow, thunder rain, thunder sleet pretty much all day long. So if you do hear it, consider yourself lucky. It's a pretty rare thing to happen in Kentucky. And it is absolutely magical to see. Carrie on Facebook, thank you for your 200 stars, 50 stars from Ricky. Thank you so much for all your star donations. I appreciate that. But once again, that's kind of where we are for right now. I do kind of want to go on our page here and just kind of look at some of your all's photos and videos that you guys have sent in. I think this is something pretty cool to do here. So this is Barron County from Ashley. That is crazy. That's in Barron County. Here's in Bowling Green. By the way, what you're seeing here on your screen in Bowling Green, this is not really snow. This is mostly sleet that you're seeing. That is how fast the sleet's coming down in Bowling Green of all places right now. So Bowling Green getting in on some of the action here of freezing precip. This is Radcliffe after about 45 minutes of snow probably. Look at that, getting in on it. By the way, I also live in Radcliffe, and I will walk you to the window real quick just to kind of show you. Let me grab the camera. I'll walk you. You're not going to be able to hear me on the microphone, but I'm at least going to show you what's happening outside a little bit. Hang on, I got it tangled up. We're going for a ride. So, golly, my window got stuck. So once again, that's Radcliffe. I went out and measured earlier. We were at about 1.5 inches at 8:30 p.m. or 8:30 a.m. It's been 45 minutes since then. I imagine we're over 2 inches by this point. Probably approaching 3 inches at this point in Radcliffe. Pretty cool stuff out there. Okay, get back in on the action here. Typical fear-mongering. David, get out of here, bro. Can you find something to do? I'll just go ahead and ban that. I'm not even going to deal with it. Fear-mongering. It's literally falling outside. How can I fear-monger something that's actually happening? Like, it's one thing to tell me I'm fear-mongering 2 days ago. Fine, sure, you do whatever you want at that point. But how can I be fear-mongering when I just showed you what's happening on the camera? What did I do? Get artificial intelligence to do that for me? Come on, man. People need to get some hobbies. Only about 1 inch on base, but boy, is it pretty. By the way, general tip, if you send in a picture like this, I'm probably going to disregard it. Because see how the ruler is slanted? Make sure those, if you want to send me ruler pictures, I love seeing ruler pictures, by the way. I love seeing them. But make sure you turn the phone sideways, all right? I know it's cold outside. I know your hands are shaking. I do that too. Turn the camera sideways and point that ruler stick straight up, okay? Yeah, Kathy, people just hear fearmonger as like a term for some other things, and then they just want to apply it to everything because they think it sounds cool. Bardstown's getting in there. If this is from Brandon out of Bardstown, getting in on the action in Bardstown. Hello, friends there. Almost 2 inches in E-Town from Jen. Mega says the roads are already covered in 20 minutes in Harrodsburg. It's very fast. This is why we... Oh, I usually don't, but I just thought it was so funny. The guy said I was fear-mongering when... I mean, it's one thing to say I'm fear-mongering or making something up days in advance. Do that, whatever. That is what it is. But when I show you what's happening outside my window, that's not fear-mongering. That's reporting. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Someone said my camera is tilted. That's fine. That's fine. Let's go ahead and keep going through here. About 1 inch near Corner Market, Edmonson County. Getting in on and out there. Another video of Radcliffe. We just showed Radcliffe out outside of my window there. This is in Germantown area of Louisville, so the big city in Kentucky. Getting in on the action now as well from those folks out there in Louisville. Stay safe out there, my friends. Oh, yeah, Derek, it's slick. Close to 2 already in Elizabethtown. White Mills, Glendale area getting in on the action. Good morning to you out there, friends. I hate how the comments reset every time I try to, scroll. Let's try to get on a different one here. Mammoth Cave in Edmonson County at about 2 inches. Says it's been snowing since 5:30. 5:30? That sounds a little early, but nonetheless, you get their point. Been snowing for a while out there. All right, I think we're good on that one. There were some more pictures on the other side there too, but just to recap real quickly, here is your current radar that we're looking at. Let me go and get all the stuff off the screen here, and kind of show you what's going on here. Here is the current radar that we're looking at. Very heavy mixture of stuff going on in Owensboro to Beaver Dam, Madison. These dark blacks that you're seeing, it's almost maxed out, or it's the mix between snow and sleet. So mainly snow, some sleet mixing in Owensboro, Henderson, Morganfield, Sabree, Calhoun, Beaver Dam, so on and so forth. Mainly sleet occurring down in Bowling Green, Lewisburg, Russellville, Elkton to Hopkinsville to Crofton. Mainly sleet in regular, this might actually be freezing rain at this point, in Paducah, Benton, Mayfield, Bardwell, north of Murray, Princeton, so on and so forth out there. In central Kentucky, you have some, again, mainly snow ongoing outside. Again, if you're in Lexington, Mount Sterling, Flemingsburg, those places in eastern Kentucky, your show should be starting here very soon. Remember, just because you see something on radar does not mean it's necessarily hitting the ground. Things can be falling above our heads, but not necessarily hitting the ground. I want to see real quickly just how hard that's coming down to the west there. That is incredibly heavy stuff. I'm very anxious. This is taking aim right at Hardin County. This will be in Hardin County for those EO managers that might be in here. This little portion of the line in Davis County will be heading to Hardin County here, probably in about an hour or hour and a half or so. And that looks to be probably a 2-inch, maybe pushing 3-inch per hour snow rate if it comes down to snow when it gets here. That could be a big boy snow like a big boy snow pourer right there in southern Davis County. But looking over toward Danville, Harrodsburg, Nicholasville, Lexington, Bloomfield, if you do see something falling, it's likely snow at this point. Let's see here, make sure I'm not missing any. It's snowing in Bowling Green now. Sylvia, get in on the action while you can. I do believe that Bowling Green, even though the trends that we're seeing is colder today, I still think the southern portion of the state, so Bowling Green, Russellville, Hopkinsville, Murray, Mayfield, Paducah, Scottsville, Glasgow, Tompkinsville, Edmonton, Burkesville, Albany, Jamestown, Monticello, you folks down there around the Tennessee-Kentucky border, unfortunately, if you're a winter lover, I have some bad news for you. Even though we're running colder, you still should warm up to above freezing and even approaching 37 to 38 degrees, maybe even the low 40s by some point this afternoon and evening. So enjoy it while you can. It's probably not going to stick around too long down there. If you're north of that, you know, we're pretty locked in right now. Audra, thank you for that update there out of Nicholasville. I appreciate that. When it's supposed to sleet and freezing rain in Mount Washington. Again, that switchover time frame for most people would be 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern time. If we stay as snow throughout most of that time frame, we might stay as snow for the entire duration of the event. But again, we have to wait till we get there. We still have 2 to 3 hours at least. Probably more like 3 to 4 hours. I mean, it is just, I kind of want to go outside and measure. But I'll do that after the broadcast and I'll let you guys know. I mean, we've got to be pushing 3 inches now. I mean, I'm just looking at it. And usually you could tell when you start to go above 2 inches, it starts to look a little lumpy outside. The snow, you can tell, is piling. Melinda, thank you for your 100 stars. I appreciate you so much. Yes, Guy Guru. The snow, if the more snow and sleet we get, the less freezing rain we get. It's a phenomenal thing. Sea-Dog with the $5 super chat on YouTube. Thank you so much for that. Says Friday and Saturday starting to look really classic. Stay safe today and tomorrow, folks. I won't talk about it too much yet, Sea-Dog, but yes, they are correct. We do have another winter storm chance this weekend on Friday and Saturday. Again, how this one performs does affect how that one would perform. So I'm not going to talk about it too much yet until this one's done and we start getting some better data in. Let's take it one step at a time, but yes, you are correct. There is another chance for some more wintry activity later this week for folks in Kentucky. Whitney, it's kind of a wait and see game at this point, and I know you guys hate to hear that. I hate to say that. It's not really forecasting, but it really is. Again, when you're dealing with 4 different precipitation types, in a matter of 1 degree can make all the difference in the world. It really is honestly just a wait and see game. We've done all the forecasting, all the information is out all over our pages, and now it's just about nowcasting, giving alerts to folks that need them, and just kind of seeing how it plays out at this point. Again, if people do switch over, it would be that afternoon time frame, right? So we know that. Yeah, Madison, it really is a hurry up and wait game at this point. Because again, 1 degree can make all the difference in the world. We do know that if a changeover is to occur, it will likely be in the early afternoon hours. And if it does occur, you would likely stay as whatever you switch to, whether it's freezing rain or sleet or regular rain. You would stay that way for the pretty much the duration of the event on Sunday. We do have the potential for some backside snow on Monday that could drop an additional inch for a lot of folks in Kentucky. So multiple, just an absolutely incredibly active week. Again, early afternoon. It's gonna be the same. It's gonna be the same answer for everybody, no matter where you ask. Our time frame for potential switches for everyone is anywhere between 12 to 4 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you for the report out of Franklin. I appreciate that. Logan says, "Do you think the road salt and Brian had time to work?" Well, I can only tell you what I'm seeing outside of my window, and I will tell you that the city that I lived in brined these roads twice. I've seen at least a dozen cars drive through them, and I still only see white on my road. I don't see the bottom of the road at all. So I can't speak for the traction because I'm not getting out there on that road. I'll leave that to the people that want to do that stuff. But I can't speak to the traction, but I can tell you that I've seen dozens of cars drive through it with 2 rounds of brine on it, and I can still just see nothing but white. I barely even see the tire tracks. So I don't know what that tells you there. I'm not getting out on testing it, but that's kind of where we're at. Majal, that is a possibility. That it's absolutely possible, guys, that we end up with more snow and sleet and less freezing rain. I just can't guarantee you that right now because, again, we still have 3 to 4 hours until that potential switchover takes place, right? So, again, making that call at this point would be well premature. Melissa says, will it ice? I do believe there is still the potential for an ice storm warning level ice, which is anything more than a 1/4 inch. I think no matter what, even if we do see a dominant snow and sleet storm, we're still, even in the most perfect scenario, we will still end up with some ice, guys. So just because I'm saying there's the potential for more snow and less ice does not mean zero ice. It just means a little bit less. So I want to make that clear as well. St. Louis County expect to have, I don't cover anything outside of Kentucky, folks. And it's not to be mean. I think we live in a world where people try to do too much. I know what I know. I stay where I know. I stay with what I know how to do, and I don't go outside of it. All I can do is recommend the NWS from your local office. Yeah, Jules, you do need 4-wheel drive for right now, but then when the ice comes down later on or everything freezes up, that 4-wheel drive is not going to matter. It's going to act like a Toyota Corolla out there on the road. No, Corey, what would happen if we get the freezing rain on top of the snow, which we absolutely will at some point? What would happen is it would compact the snow. Think about it like you're drinking a slushy or an icy, right? Once you start adding the syrup to that, right, the room temperature syrup to your frozen icy, it doesn't necessarily have a hard time accumulating. It just compacts the snow or your slushy, right? It compacts it, and then it builds up on top of it, right? Same thing would happen here. It would compact the snow for a little bit and then build up on top of it. Heaven Bound says the back roads and covered in Mount Washington. Thank you for that update there. I appreciate you. Summer says there's some huge flakes ongoing in Fordsville, Kentucky. Thank you so much for that report. Logan, no problem. I appreciate you, my friend. Dawson Springs, Kentucky has been mostly freezing rain since 6 a.m. Yeah, I've been looking at the traffic cams out there, and it's not been a pleasant experience. Let's go look at some of these traffic cams out in Paducah. Let's go look there. Let's start there, and then we'll make our way to the central portions of the state. Here is Paducah. You can see ice quite literally sitting on the camera. Quite literally sitting on the camera. A good rule of thumb, by the way, is if you see ice sitting on cameras, they're going to sit on your Toyota Corolla tires too. So don't go on the roads. Please, folks. Do not go on the roads. I don't care if you got a Ford F-250 with matched diesel and a twin turbo engine, or whatever they call that crap now. It's not... Ice stops plow trucks. It will stop any vehicle you drive as well. All right. Let's look at the Western Kentucky Parkway here in southern Hardin County. Let's see what we got going on here. Oh, my goodness. So for someone that asked, whoever asked about the brine working, you can kind of see that left lane there, but it's not going to matter. We are below 25 degrees currently in Hardin County. We are 24.1 degrees, which means that everything that does melt, it will flash freeze. So yes, let's say the brine does work and melts. Say the salt works and melts. 10 minutes later after the plow trucks leave, it's going to freeze again. You know what I mean? So I don't know. And Barbara, I don't know why I have so much demise in my heart for Toyota Corollas, but I do. I don't know why. It's just like a subconscious thing at this point. Maybe I need to switch like Honda Civic, because none of us like Honda Civics, right? They're all just loud and noisy, like big lawnmowers. All right, where am I at here? I then lost track of where I'm at. So this is Western Kentucky Parkway in southern Hardin County. Looking like a mess there. Let's go ahead and switch to another camera here. This is actually going to be central Elizabethtown, right along that highway, or exit 94. Yeah, mile marker 93 right there. Oh my. Why are all these people... Props to people going the other way, because there's nothing on this side of the highway. Appreciate you guys. What are you guys doing? And look right there. You can kind of almost see it. Looks like a vehicle spinning. Can I zoom in on this? Right. Look where my cursor is. Doesn't that vehicle look a little sideways, or am I just like seeing stuff at this point? Again, stay off the roadways, folks. Let the plows get in there. Let the ice workers get in there. Let these folks that want to get us back on the roads eventually, let them get in there. The more you guys get on the roadways, and I'm going to put this very bluntly, the more you guys get on the roadways, the longer it takes for everyone else to get out. Right? Because now the plows can't get in there. It takes longer. The salt trucks can't in. I mean, let's be safe today. Let's be reasonable. Let's stay home. Let's think about others. Let's go up here toward Lebanon Junction and look at the camera there. Again, just an absolute mess. I will say, though, I will give you guys a lot of credit. For 9:30 a.m. on a Monday morning, only 4 vehicles being on this interstate at this point. Because you have some people that have to travel, right? There's going to be people on the roads, right? And actually, there's only 3. That's a big semi. There's only 3 vehicles on this road. Very, very great. I'm so proud of you, Kentucky. I'm so proud of you. It's Sunday, though. It's Sunday. Oh my goodness, you're correct. It is Sunday. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I need more sleep. You get my point, though. For being 9 a.m., even on a Sunday, even more, because that's church. That's church travel right there, right? Even more so. Hey, good job. Good job. Staying off the roads. Let's go up here and look in Shively in Louisville and see how the road's looking up here. Let's start with St. Matthews on the I-264 corridor at mile marker 19. Yeah, so yeah. Yeah, and I get it. Some people have to go to work. That's why I'm not... You're going to have some people on the roads. But I'm talking about the people that are traveling to the gas station for a candy bar, or traveling to McDonald's for a cheeseburger at this point. Let's make a pack of ramen noodles at home or something. Let's stay home. Let's stay out of the way if we don't absolutely have to be in the way. Let's look at a different camera. There's your wreck right there in Louisville. I didn't even know that was happening. You got a car that looks like the front end's completely gone on this side. Semi's overturned here. Stay off the roads. Please. We're not making this up. This is not fear-mongering. This is not clickbait. This is not hype. This is a real-time picture captured at 9:31 a.m. Eastern time. This is real. This is real. All right, this is mile marker, or this is on I-64 or I-264, yes, I-64, mile marker 21. We do have a wreck happening there. So again, this just happened, right? Let's. I can't reiterate enough. Please stay off the roads if you don't have to be on them. I get hospital workers have to be on them. I get emergency workers have to be on them. Of course. If you do absolutely have to be on the roadways, in this type of condition, you should be reducing your speed by 80%. 80%. That was good timing. Let's check this interstate here. This is where is this at? I-65 mile marker 126 in Jefferson County. I only see 3 vehicles. That is phenomenal. That is phenomenal. Great stuff. Great stuff. I mean, how many times have we had this stuff go on and there's still a crazy amount of vehicles? I'm so proud of you guys right now. Hey, Walmart's got to restock the milk and bread. You guys absolutely ransacked all the Walmarts in Kentucky. Again, interstate. This is a major interstate in the biggest city in Kentucky. Look how covered it is. I mean, disgusting out there. Think of what your main roads in your town might look like. Think of what your side roads might look like. If the interstates look like this, your roads in your individual counties and cities look even worse, right? Let's go over here. Let's look at Lexington where things just started. I mean, things just started at Lexington over the last 45 minutes or so. Yeah, this is 45 minutes, and it's already, look, this is I-75 southbound here, right? Look at the bridge, the overpass. I only see a handful of cars on the road, though. Not bad. Not bad. Let's look down here, Madison County, Richmond, Kentucky. Or actually, let's go to Mount Vernon here, along the I-75 corridor. This is a little further south of Lexington. I mean, that is an onslaught. That is an onslaught. Look at this. You can't even barely see the car back there. You got one car traveling that way. I see way too many cars traveling this way. But at least, so if you are going to travel out there and you absolutely have to, this is absolutely what you should be doing. Look how much space is between these vehicles. And I imagine they're traveling slow. Okay? that was Mount Vernon, Kentucky. Let's go down here to Bowling Green. Look what's happening in Warren County. This is, doesn't tell me the highway. Not too shabby, but you can tell by the grayish look, if you look right here where my cursor is, you can tell by the grayish look there that this is likely ice. So this is not mainly snow here. There looks like there may be some snow falling. But you can tell by the grayish look to this is sleet and ice. So if this is disgusting. Look down here in Warren County. Disgusting road conditions setting up all over Kentucky here. Let's go down here south of Hopkinsville. This is where we should be seeing regular rain, according to model data last night. Okay. Looks to be the case. But you got to be careful because look right here. This is ice. So even with rain coming down, and what may look like rain, it's not. It's going to freeze upon contact. I think we're going to need a moderator in the YouTube chat, by the way. All right. Let's go here to Barron County. Along the I-65 corridor here, mile marker 50. Looking like a mess, looking like a mess. And again, this is the problem. So you could tell plow had hit this several minutes ago. But look at the problem here, right? Look at the problem here. It's melted, right? This would be slush on this side. Look at the glaze. You can just tell that's glazing. You can see the reflection from the trees, from the rocks. You can see the glaze. So when it does melt, 10 minutes after that plow leaves, because they're below 25 degrees, it refreezes. It refreezes. All right. So that was what was that? Barron County, Hart County, one of the two. Let's go back here up here and look at the parkways real quickly. I'm gonna kind of touch base on this again. This is the Western Kentucky Parkway in southern Hardin County. This is nasty work here. This is nasty work here. The good thing is we've flicked on this image 3 times and I've not seen one vehicle yet. Great stuff, Hardin County. Let's go look at the I-65 corridor up into Elizabethtown at this point. This is going to be valid for mile marker 93.3. Not too bad. Not too bad. Again, look at how much space they're giving each other, though. That if you absolutely have to travel, this is how you have to do it. Please, the last thing you want to do is tailgate somebody in a situation. Don't do that. And reduce your speed by 80%. All right. Where else do we want to look at here? This is I hate this, though. We have all these cameras, right? We have nothing up here for Henderson. Nothing up here for Owensboro, Breckenridge, Meade counties. Nothing for McLean, Webster. By the way, there were some of you that were asking where I went to see these cameras at. All you have to do is go to the KYTC website, the Kentucky Traffic Center, or Traffic Control, and you can see it for yourself there. We have not looked at Somerset yet. Let's go ahead and look here at Somerset. This was supposed to be mostly rain and freezing rain and sleet. Looks like they ended up with some snow there. So again, 1 degree can make all the difference. I bet you. Look. So here we go here. Somerset, Pulaski County, 25 degrees. There it is. Crazy, crazy stuff there. All right. I think we got a lot of the traffic cams in there, didn't we? Let's go ahead and take a look. See if we have some new model data coming in here. Let's see what we have going on here. Make sure it looks all kind of the same here. Mostly the same. So again, it does still have that switch over to occur. This is valid for 1 p.m. Eastern time. It does show that switch over occurring basically for central and western Kentucky portions of the area. And then by about the 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern time frame, does show Lexington and Louisville switching over at this point. E-Town going to more of a freezing rain. North of Paducah going to more of a freezing rain. By the 5 p.m. Eastern time frame, does still show Lexington and Louisville as a mix just to the north. Shows it as heavy snowfall. Elizabethtown, this is a pure freezing rain at this point, according to this model. Northern McLean County, a freezing rain at that point. And now the regular rain is beginning to push into Paducah and Bowling Green as your temperatures are starting to rise down there. As going for 7 p.m. Eastern time here, man, it is just no one outside. Still, it's just incredible. 7 p.m. time frame here. That freezing line comes up toward the Western Kentucky portions of the Western Kentucky Parkway portions of the area, and now starts pushing some of that snow more further to the north there toward Florence, Owenton, north of Cynthiana, going toward northern Kentucky portions of the area. By about 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern time, it does show that switch over to regular rain occurring in Hardin County at this point, and then pushing up more toward Danville, getting close to Richmond at that point as well. Freezing rain does exist from Pikeville to Lexington, and then sleet from Lexington to Louisville up to the points north there. And then, again, coming on the backside here, late tonight into the overnight hours, we might see some freezing drizzle occur. Okay, just depends on where this low pressure track is still trying to take it all the way up through Western Kentucky. I'm not sure if that's exactly going to happen. If this draws to the east a little bit, it's a lot better of a situation. All right, it just did it right there actually as well. So when we do that, you can see how much closer that freezing precip gets to Kentucky, and that's our backside snow for Monday morning. At this point, the model stops though. They can only see 18 hours out, so everything's still kind of looking on par there. We'll look at the newest totals from this run here. It does still show the 5 to 8 inches for Hardin County. It does show, again, this is the model run. This is not our forecast. This is the model run, not our forecast. So, again, take it with a grain of salt there. Look around, find your area. This is the freezing rain total from this model run. Still right on par, about 0.3 to 0.6 inches in that high zone area. That's also where we have ours as well, 0.25 to 0.75 inches in that between the I-64 corridor and the Western Kentucky and Bluegrass Parkways. Same thing here. This is our snowfall forecast totals. If you haven't seen this in a while, we haven't changed it. Probably not going to change anything else at this point. Looks pretty good. Looks to still be on par with everything that we're seeing on that model there. So on and so forth. So Kentucky Girl on YouTube, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Angel, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Shana, thank you for your 50 stars. Lana, thank you for your 99 stars. I appreciate you. Melinda, thank you for your 100 stars as well. Thank you so much. Everyone for all the shares and the likes on the stream. I appreciate you. All the new subscribers on YouTube, thank you guys so much. Welcome to our channel. We appreciate you. Thank you for turning on the bell. Thank you guys so much for everything. I think at this point, I do want to take a break. We've been on live here for about 50 minutes. I do want to take a break at this point. I want to go outside and measure. I want to take a minute, just kind of rest my voice a little bit. I will be on with you guys throughout most of the day, on and off, so you guys can get constant updates on what to expect. But again, at this point, it's time to just let the system ride out. All the information is all over our pages. That said, I'm going to kind of sign off here at this point. I'm George Herbig, Chief Forecaster here with Weather Now Kentucky. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you next time.